Hey guys, and welcome back to Sorcery. Last time we unfortunately had to say goodbye to our fine assassin friend, and this time, who knows, he might even come up to stab us in the back of the neck or something. We also had a dream about the red eyes, which I'm getting more and more suspicious that these dreams are some sort of weird prophecy, sort of like foreshadowing of what's going to happen for the next day. So maybe we'll deal with that this time. So no way to find out, but to find out. Going to the next morning. Dawn breaks and you head downstairs. The inn looks like a whirlwind has passed through it. Chairs are turned over on top of tables, plates and flagons have been scattered around, and several patrons are passed out asleep on the floor. It's nice that my stamina went up. Let's check if they're alive. I think that's good. You stop by the first of the fallen drinkers and check that they are still breathing, which they are, but their breath is so thick and alcoholic it makes you swoon to smell it. You pick your way across the bodies to the door and go out into the street. Yeah, okay, just a typical drunken sort of deal. As the sun breaks over the rooftops of Lower Khare, the city looks clean and bright, like a stone polished to a shine by a fast-flowing river. The effect lasts for a beautiful moment, and then the people of Khare begin to stir, opening their windows to throw out their slop, shouting and cursing at each other as they do so. You know, one of my favorite things about this game is the writing. Like, it so quickly transitions from, like, this beautiful, florid language to just, yeah, they were just cussing and throwing out their slop. It's kind of this wonderful duality that the writer has that I really appreciate. You can really tell that it had good source material. Alright, so, looks like we don't really have much of a choice on where to go. And looks like we're going to have to go ahead and head for the bridge. Off we go to whatever doom awaits us. The market traders begin to set up their stalls, fighting and threatening each other to get the spots closest to the ships. A few sly types, probably pickpockets, begin to prowl the shadows between the stands. There are still areas of Lower Khare you have not yet explored, but you cannot afford to waste more time in these slums. If the nobles are to be found, they will be on the other side of the river, and if they are not to be found, you must reach the gate and try to find another way through. I think we should try to buy breakfast or at least some food. You wander the stalls looking for something to eat and find a stand selling bomba bread for 2 pieces. The smell is quite nourishing. Let's buy some. You buy a slice of the bread. It is pleasantly filling with a sweet, meaty texture. You thank the woman at the stall, then head over to the river to wait for the bridge to be lowered. After a while, a grizzled old man arrives and unlocks a small booth by the harbor bridge. He goes inside and closes the door behind him. I don't think I need to knock on the booth. Oh, maybe it's the booth where they're gonna open the bridge. Let's go ahead and wait, though. Sit down outside the booth to wait for the man to lower the harbor bridge. Half an hour goes by and nothing happens. Let's go ahead and look in the booth, see if he's slouching. You stand up and peer in at the booth to see what the old man is doing. He has his feet up on a low desk. His hands are folded across his stomach, and he appears to be consulting a tide chart quite closely. So closely, in fact, that it covers his whole face and gently rises and falls as he snores. Okay, we're gonna knock. Tired of waiting, you go over to the booth and knock firmly on the door. The old man lowers down the window and leans out of the booth. What you want? Good morning, you begin cheerfully. Ha, the man replies. I don't think Beautiful Day is going to get us anywhere. Let's just be frank. Are you going to lower the bridge, you ask, still trying to be polite? The man pulls a face, curling down the corners of his mouth. It's not yet time. When is time, you demand? The man leads into his booth to consult something. His head reappears a few moments later. Tide's gotta go down, he says. I don't think that bribing him or saying just do it is gonna work. I'm just gonna wait, I guess. I wanna, explore some too, so they don't really mind this. You wait another half an hour, enjoying the morning sunlight playing on the river. Feels like the first rest you have had since you left the outpost settlement. It's hard to imagine that, had it not been for the Archmage and the Birdmen, you would never have made this journey, never explored outside the Shamansi wall. Let's look around the dock. You look around the dock. By the base of the bridge, you notice a winch-like contraption. Perhaps it lowers the bridge. Why? They keep trying to make me do stuff to lower this bridge prematurely, but I feel like the guy has a point in the tides or whatever, and I really don't want to mess with it. I really don't. And I also feel like it could easily be trapped, so we're going to leave it. You wait a little longer. Suddenly, there is a flurry of movement from inside the booth. The old man leaves his booth and goes over to the contraption on the waterfront. He begins to heave and wind an ancient winch. It seems to be quite hard work. He is trying to move the whole weight of the bridge single-handedly. Let's help him out. You get to your feet and go over to help the man out. Grrr, he breaks. Y'all break it. Okay, I keep assuming this man knows what he's doing, so we're gonna just continue. Yet the man struggle, happy to let him be stubborn. Sweat beads on his forehead, and he heaves and puffs as he works, but eventually the bridge clunks down into place. You salute the man cheerfully and get to your feet. Alright, let's go. You cross the bridge over the river Jabaji, which runs like a slime trail through the center of the city. You have reached the banks of Upper Khare. The buildings here are not as grand as on the south side of the river, but they are in much better condition. Fewer people live on this side and from the fields and hills, but those that do are richer. They are also most likely more dangerous. But of course, it is on this side of the city that the North Gate stands. You know, it just occurred to me that since Khare is a city of thieves, that means that if you're richer, you're just a better thief and therefore more dangerous. I hadn't considered that before. I was more thinking like, yeah, they were just rich from like inheritance or something, but it's probably because they're really good at killing and stealing and stuff, so I might be in a whole lot of trouble. You follow the road away from the river towards a fork in the road. If there are any nobles still in the city port, their houses are most likely to be on this side of the river, but which way? Oh boy, so Fireview Square or the Red Quarter. I feel like the Red Quarter would be more likely. Though, here's the castle. No, this is a wall. And the wall leads straight down another fork. And oh wow, this is a place, isn't it? This is a real big place that you can get very lost in. Well, I think for now we are going to go, I'm guessing, to the Red Quarter, so we're going to go up, unless something tells me otherwise. The early morning sun is beginning to wake the streets of Khare. A few creatures roam this way and that. In one corner, a spring bubbles with fresh water. Drink from the fountain? I'm at full stamina. There's no reason to do that. I guess look around. Whoa. There we go. Looking left, the road heads through a residential area that seems well cared for. A short way off to the right is an open plaza. Why does it... I do not want to drink from the fountain. It keeps giving me these things that I'm very suspicious of. And I don't like. Alright. We're going left, as I said we would. You follow a narrow, winding street past shops and stalls. It is still early, and they are not yet open, but there are stirrings from within the houses as the day's activities begin. A face appears at one window and seems to watch you pass, although the creature's eyes are closed and you are not sure that it actually notices you. I guess wave. Oh, we just changed to the lion. What's that? The lion is a prideful creature, but rightly so. With his languid strength, he is ruler over the plains over which he prowls. Inside his chest is an enormous heart, and though he knows no fear himself, he understands well the fear felt by his prey. Interesting. You wave to the creature, but it does not react. Its eyes are still closed. Another similar creature stands in the doorway across the street, washing themselves from a bucket. This one is thin and spindly with a long face. Not exactly a human and not an elven either, but something in between. This just looks so creepy. So creepy. Let's greet it. You try to greet the watching creature, but it too has its eyes closed. At the end of the road, under a low arch, a group of youth are loitering, talking, and kicking stones into the gutter. They notice you and begin to point and talk amongst themselves. I guess this seems like a good way to get into a fight. Let's go ahead and approach anyway. A group of children doesn't scare you. You continue down the street towards them. They fan out a little until they fill the width of the narrow road. Above you, the shutters are closing and people are moving away from windows, as though, despite their eyes, they have seen a fight coming. Interesting. Close my own eyes. Well, we always have to check what spells we have, because sometimes that can give us a little bit of a clue as to what we were supposed to do, even if we are not actually able to do it. Can float in air. That would definitely get me a little bit out of the reach. Can make them think there's treasure, but they're probably rich, so that I doubt that would do something. Goblin. I still think it's funny I can just summon some giants if I so feel. Is that God? Illusion of worship? Interesting. No. I need the small g. Gak. Cause fear. I don't have that. M-U-D. Right. Quicksand. Interesting. Okay. What was F? Did I do F? Yeah, that was the first one I did. Fall. Float in air. I feel like that might be helpful. But I also think I should close my eyes. Maybe. It just seems like such a weird option to have. This seems suspicious. Thinking quickly, you close your eyes. Perhaps you will be able to blend in. Then you stride forwards into the midst of the group, stumbling slightly and feeling your way. The youths begin to laugh at you. Another blind man? The last one to come through here said he was a noble. Are you a noble too? Yes? No. Which way did he go? I am one of you. They will not believe I am one of them. I am not a noble, though. Just a tramp, then, the youth replies. We don't like tramps. Keep walking forward. Take another step forward. You are right in their midst now. You can feel them clustering on either side of you. I think this creature is brave, the youth remarks loudly, his voice right by your ear. Shall we take a look at him? Keep walking. Aha, okay. Okay, we're fighting. We're fighting. Nope, I'm done. Alright, we're done. We're fighting. I'm done with you. You draw your sword, and the youth begin to laugh. I think, he remarks, this foolish stranger does not see the problem. The others are laughing, too. The problem that there's a lot of you and only one of me. You launch forward with your sword, and one of the youth opens his eyes. There is no time to react. A beam of red fire pours out from under his eyelids and burns you at the wrist. You fumble your attack in horror, and the other creatures reach out to grab you. Don't struggle, one whispers, or we'll look at you all over. Great. Oh boy, I've gotten kidnapped. This is the third time I've gotten kidnapped. This happens way too much. You march through the alleyways to a building surrounded by a high wall. It is a prison. You are dragged across the yard and into an underground corridor. The cell door is opened and you are thrown inside, landing squarely on top of another creature. I don't think racing for the door is ever a good idea. You pick yourself to your feet and dust yourself down. Apologies, friend, you say to your cellmate. It is an elven, like those you met in the Shamansi Hills, but he seems worn out and exhausted. Creature nods to you. Welcome to my little world, he replies. They were the Red Eyes. This is the Red Eyes. I know where I am now. That's good. Okay, I just need to ask, who are you? Because obviously these are the Red Eyes, and now I know. Who are you, you ask? My name on the outside hardly seems to matter, the elven replies with a smile. My name here is number 6, and that'll be your name too. He points a bony finger. It's written by the doors, see? From the sounds coming through the walls, there is one of several cells, all side by side. You hear snores, shouts, and screams through the stonework. You're an elven. You say, I've met your kind before. I have the freedom of your village in the hills. He shrugs. If you go back, they'll try to rob you, he says. But that's not what they locked me up for. The cell is empty, except for a bucket. Murmuring an apology, the elf uses it for what it is for. Well, I know how to get out. Try the copper key. You wait for the guard to turn away from the door, then hurry forward with the key, given to you by the beggar outside Christianti. It turns, the elven claps his hands, careful to be silent, and the two of you slide the door open. The guard's back is still turned. You have a chance. Oh, the magic chain. I don't know what the magic chain does. What are my options? Back to the spells! Back to the spells! Okay, we can zap him. We can pop. Oh yeah, the explosions. We can blow him up. We can create quicksand. We can do a lot of stuff. I don't think any of this stuff is going to be helpful for my peaceful escape. I also don't want to use the magic chain, and I also don't want to... Why would I pick up the bucket? Why would I want to pick up the bucket? Why would I want to pick up the bucket? Such a suspicious choice. Why though? Oh my god, this is just so mischievous. This is the most mischievous thing. Moving silently, you pick up the bucket from the floor of the cell. The elven looks at you curiously but says nothing. Pick up the bucket and put it on the guard's head. You raise the bucket nice and high, creeping forward on tiptoes. Then at the last possible moment, you bring it quickly down on the guard's head. Unmentionable substances trickle down his face, but for a moment, he cannot see. Drag him backwards into the cell. Between you, you grab the guard's arms and drag him backwards into the cell. Excellent, hisses the elven. Now to get out of this place. He rushes forward to the door. Search the guard. You search the guard, finding a copy of the same key you already have, along with a couple of gold pieces. Quickly, hisses the elven from the doorway. You dive out of the corridor and slam the door behind you. Lock the door. Moving quickly, you lock the door with the copper key. Run for it, the elven cries, and he's right. Inside the cell, the bucket has got the bucket off of his head and has moved to the window. You hurtle around a corner just as a beam of fire explodes off the wall behind you. You hear him rattling the door to the cell, but it seems he cannot open it. You race up a set of stairs heading toward a path of sunlight and emerge in an alleyway on the other side of the prison wall, the elven at your back. Do I have a new friend? Friend? You emerge onto a quiet side street and begin to weave and duck through the alleyways. The elven, weak from his long stay in the tiny cell, can barely keep pace with you, but is filled with such joy to be free that he laughs even as he trips and stumbles. Let's go left. I don't want to go back to the red eyes. At the first junction, you turn left. Do you know where you're going? Asks the elven, but there isn't time to reply. Can I just cheat this real quick? Good, okay. So, at another junction, so we just turned left, so now we're going down this way. Or at least we should be. Then it's left or right, that'll still be into the corridor, so let's go. Let's go right. The elven is flagging. He cannot keep running like this anymore. Go on, he gasps from several strides behind. I'll hide here. Let's help him. I want a friend. You're nearly free, you reply, grabbing the elven under his arm. I mean it. He hisses himself free. I'll hide, you idiot, while you distract any more guards with your running. Now go. Good plan, you reply. I know that, the elven hisses, burying himself into boxes of scrap. Now go. Breaks her heart to leave him. It really does. I really wanted a friend. I'm really sad. But you know he is right. You wish him luck, then hurry away. The elven crawls into a pile of junk and beds down. Perhaps you will see him again. Alright, so we turned left. Now we turned right. Let's go left now, I guess. You keep running, taking a left. Quite suddenly, you emerge from the alleyway into a wider, busier street. You slow yourself to a nonchalant walk. I went left. Not sure how I ended up here, but this is where we are now. The road turns and heads roughly southeast once more, but you have been spotted. A group of young orclings are scurrying towards you. The kids here seem to be jerks. And, yeah. Regardless, hurrying to avoid them doesn't seem like a good idea. It's probably so much shouting right now. You stop and wait for one of them to reach. Hello, they pipe. 1 gold piece for our bellies. One demonstrates, pointing into an open gob which lacks teeth and you notice also lacks a tongue. How are they speaking? Their hands poke at you and push outwards, hoping for a donation. Now there's a really, really bad... If I can do this, this would be such a jerk move. What was it? The one that makes fake gold. It's not force field. What was it? Maybe I'm not even able... That's 6. Maybe I'm not able to cast it here. That would be a shame. I can read minds now. Ooh, I'm so curious. I just want to know if they'll, let me go. You slip on the skull cap and cast your spell, turning into the Orkling's thoughts. They are only children, which makes them easier to read. Enough that you are able to slip this way and that, avoiding their prying fingers entirely until you are clear of the group. Yay! Did that get rid of my skull cap? No, it didn't. Yes! Oh, I'm so happy about that. That was great. I'm so glad I stole that. Okay, do I have an option? No. You continue up the road, leaving the chattering orclings behind. After a short distance, you come across a large building made of stones and mortar. Look at the building or waste no time. Look at the building. It stands alone in its path of the grounds, and unusually, it seems to be in a state of good repair. A large L is carved on one gatepost. The main road continues straight past this house. I remember something about an L. Is that in my clues? 4 nobles know the spell. Okay. I don't... No, North Gate. Okay. So no, that did not help me. Alright, so either approach the house or continue on. This is definitely one of the nobles' houses. For sure. You enter the gate and follow the path to the front of the house, between tall, well-tended trees. The place seems quite lived in. Creep around to the front door. Always try the front door. The door to this house is solid oak wood, decorated with elaborate carvings. In the middle is a great brass knocker. Let us knock. You knock firmly on the door, but no one answers. The house seems empty, dark, and quiet. Alright. Well, it probably has so much security, but we're gonna creep around the house anyways. You move confidently and with stealth. Dropping to all fours, you sneak through the gate and crouch low below the window at the side of the house. But the house seems to be empty, so your caution is unnecessary. Staying close to the ground to explore the grounds of the building. By the outbuilding. You creep to the cover of an outbuilding. It was perhaps once a storehouse, but its contents have now burst through its walls. Broken items and bits of glass tumble out between bent wooden slats and through fractured window panes. Looking back at the house, you can make out a door into the rear of the house. Let's look through the junk. You pick cautiously through the junk. There is a gold-backed mirror, its glass shattered, some fragments of an orb of crystal, and half of a pearl ring with what looks like a bite mark taken out of it. The owner of this house must be a wizard, and one not afraid to escape with valuable equipment either. If you could repair even one of these items, it would be extremely valuable to you. I wonder... So these spells have components, right? So I'm gonna see if I can find what these components are. Jewel of Gold. Gold-backed mirrors for kin. In battle, gold-backed mirror must be pointed at a creature with this spell is cast. An exact replica of an enemy will then be created under the caster's control. However, should either creature die, both will disappear. Okay. Okay. Pearl Ring. Casting the spell while wearing a pearl ring will render the caster invisible to any reasonably intelligent creature. Less intelligent creatures will only be partially convinced, and creatures with ears will still be able to hear the caster when they move. So that could be helpful. And then Crystal Orb. In conjunction with an orb of crystal, this spell will enable its caster to see a little way into the future. The orb must be held in the hands, and very little control can be exercised on what exactly will be seen. Okay, I've made my decision. We're going to try to repair the ring. You pick up the ring, a piece of the ring. There really are tooth marks in it. Something has eaten the pearl itself, or perhaps they ate the person wearing the ring and spat this part out. Either way, it is incomplete and cannot be repaired. Alright, well, repair the mirror. You lift the gold-backed mirror carefully out of the pile. The glass is cracked, but none of it seems to have fallen out of the frame, which means you may well be able to repair it. Put it in my pack for later. You open your pack, but as you try to slide the mirror in, the grass fragments fall out and shatter to dust on the flagstone path. The mirror is now useless, so with a sigh, you toss it away. Okay, well, everything was useless. Great. You leave the junk pile and its broken treasures and turn your attention to the back door of the house. You're in luck, it seems. It's slightly ajar. This isn't a trap in any way. Also, we are back to the dolphin. You open the back door. It has been carelessly left unlocked. You go inside. I don't like this one bit. The inside of the house is well kept and clean. There are fresh flowers in vases, and the surfaces are dust-free. It is as though whoever lived here has just slipped out for a few minutes and will return at any moment, except for the paper strewn everywhere on the hallway. The floor is almost a foot deep in books, torn pages, and folders with charred edges. It is as though a lightning storm has passed through the study on and left. Another door lies opposite. By the smell of it, it is the kitchen. I need food. I need food so badly. I need food so badly. You open the door to the kitchen and go inside. It is laid out as though the owner of the house was in the middle of preparing a meal. Bread is sliced, cheese is on a plate, and a glass of wine sits beside the open bottle. Nothing here has had time to go moldy. Something is rattling in one of the cupboards. Why do I feel like that's a person? It's a beast. Okay, you open the cupboard out of curiosity and are immediately bowled over as a thing erupts with angry force. You crawl backwards into the hallway to get away from its gnashing fangs and get to your feet to see what it is. A bristle beast, and it is furious. Great. Where's that one that makes dumb things tame? It's not mud. I think it might be sap. Actually, that just makes them depressed. So I can make it depressed. I doubt that would help my situation. That's fireball. Gob was goblin. And then this is pop again. Yeah. Ah, boy, I guess we're fighting. Aww, but it's so cute. It is so cute. It does not have much stamina. And not too much power. So this, it doesn't have that much power. It has a fair amount of stamina. So let's just go ahead and run it through. Oh, Oh, it's so cute, though. I don't want to kill it. The bristle beast bares its teeth, and the spines on its back spike up. You swing your sword like an axe, hoping to prune the creature. The beast slashes out with its claws, but it cannot defend itself from your force. The bristle beast's scales explodes with thick blood. So, do I think it'll attack again? Yes. And it did. I'm doing well today. You batter at the bristle beast towards the kitchen wall, charging forward across the corridor, sword biting for blood as it swings its head only to catch your blade more deeply. This beast hisses and rattles its spines, clearly weakening. Well, it better be defensive now. It wasn't, but I was still able to overcome it. Alright, you best the bristle beast again, slicing across the creature's eyes. With a final swing, you bury your blade deep into the bristle beast. It twists on the metal, then curls up like an overheated beetle and dies. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Look through the papers. You browse through the papers. Some are complex and you cannot understand the words. Others are calculations. There are also maps and charts and plans of Khare, the hills, and other backlands in the north. Other documents look almost like charts for spellmaking, such as the chief mage used back in the outpost settlement to prepare your spellbook. Whoever lived here was clearly a scholar of great wisdom, and most likely a wizard as well. Where now? So I could leave, or I could try the study. Now, it seems that we have been here for quite a while, and so it might be good to leave. But I'm also very curious, which is a problematic combination. But what would it be in this study? Maybe the spell. I have to. Okay. You open the door to the study, pushing hard against a deeper pile of paper. This room looks like a tornado has traveled through it, and perhaps one has. In the very center of the room is a blackened circle burnt into the carpet. There is a smell of iron and ammonia in the air. It is hard to escape the sense that some great and terrible magic was performed here not long ago. But there is no sign of the magician who crafted such a powerful spell. Search the papers. Oh boy. On all fours, you dig through the piles of paper. Books, torn up almanacs, historical files, and sheets of scrawl and scribble. There's nothing here with any meaning. On one sheet, you find an intriguing set of symbols, NQ, then a series of other marks, written and then crossed out. Only one is still readable, and it has been circled. L. I think we found what we need to find. Okay. I think that was it, but it didn't say, like, hint found, which bothers me. I am bothered. The road continues on between dense houses on either side, when suddenly you begin to smell a sharp, acrid smell, burning. Looking up ahead, you see a column of smoke. Is the district on fire? Oh boy, I don't know what to do. I can't put it out at all. I've got nothing. Sense danger. You cast the spell and a calm voice enters your mind, telling you not to fear. There is no danger up ahead. Alright. Feeling safe with the warning from your spell, you stride forward towards the smoke, rounding a corner in the road until you see the source. It is a fire, but not a blazing house. Instead, it comes from an enormous forge set into a large blacksmith shop. The blacksmith himself is at work, hammering away at a flat-bladed sword. Let's go ahead and approach. You approach the blacksmith and try to attract his attention by knocking a few of his display items off the shelves. But it seems the blacksmith is quite deaf. Years of hammering on sparking metal have left him quite oblivious to everything around him. Tap on his arm. You walk over and tap his arm, and the blacksmith jumps. "Didn't see you there," he bellows too loudly. The man seems pleasant enough. "I didn't mean to scare you." "Not scared," the blacksmith replies hotly. "Me? A few? Nah." The blacksmith polishes his blade lovingly. Wolf armor, interesting. Interesting. Tell me about your swords. This one is my finest, he replies proudly, indicating the blade he is currently polishing up. A blade of large hand. Large hand? Large hand, the blacksmith agrees. It is large handy. Let's try the blade. You reach out for the blade, but the blacksmith catches your arm. I warn you, he says. Once you tried it, you won't want any other. And it's not a cheap blade. I'll risk it. The blacksmith shrugs and releases your arm. Go on, then. You pick up the blade and swing it through the air. It sings. The weight is perfect. The metal sharpened. The balance so delicate, it becomes almost an extension of your arm. This is the finest blade you've ever held. How much? The blacksmith grins. I told ya. Ready for it? 40 gold pieces. 40? The blacksmith nods. That's right. 40. I don't have that much. The blacksmith nods and takes the blade back with loving care. It'll find its honor sooner enough, I'm sure. Do you make wolf armor? You ask, thinking about the strange werewolf you saw. The blacksmith looks at you with fierce cold eyes. Vic, first noble, he replies, but says nothing more. Vic is preparing an army, you reply, murmuring. That's true, isn't it? The blacksmith shakes his head. Vic's a good leader, he says. If you pay your dues to him. The blacksmith quickly hammers something. The noise makes your head spin. I need to find the city nobles. That don't shop here, he roars back. The blacksmith goes over to the back of the shop and downs a quick mug of ale. Best do work, he says as he returns. Be gone. Then he begins to hammer so loudly you fear for your hearing, so you quickly run out of the shop. Okay. You walk between the narrow buildings until you reach a fork. To the left, the road continues toward some sort of bustling market, while to the right it leads down a shorter street. In the center of the fork is a great bronze statue with some kind of poet at its feet. Let's go ahead and look down the short street. Looking down the short streets to the right, you see a sign above a doorway reading The Gambling Halls of Lada. Several seedy-looking creatures mill about the steps. Cheerful creatures go in, and miserable-looking ones come out. Look at the statue. The statue is of a giant brute wielding a club, and at its feet is a large pot filled with gold pieces. This must be one of Khare's many gods, which the pot is intended for worshippers to make offerings. Time to move on. Alright, so the fork, Halls of Vlad, statue, or... Alright, well, these days are getting longer and longer, and as I don't want all of my videos to be ridiculously long, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here for today. So, we crossed the bridge, we dealt and found the red eyes, and hopefully made an elven friend. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see what happens next and what decisions I will make, go ahead and subscribe. There is a new video every other day. Anyways, I hope you guys soar high and enjoy your ride of life. Bye!